usually end up with a -5 in a minute.
Hard 30 tonight.
First of all, I don't believe in numbers.
Don't get fooled. Grab a drink, because this is Hangover Time.
So Heat and 5 looks like, people. We know the drill. We've been here. We've done that. They got one on the road. You know, the Heat were missing Jimmy, Tyler Hero. They missed Max Strus for a large swath of that game. Caleb Martin at the end of that game. The Knicks got back Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and Scott Foster. So, you know, big night for the Knicks getting their best players back. And listen, Miami made it a fight. At the end of the game, you're missing your two best clutch players, and you know, you kind of miss your best, at least your second best defender, and that's kind of how that goes. You know, Knicks got some offensive rebounds. Miami had to be a little smaller without Jimmy, and Caleb hurt his back, kind of made him ineffective later. But you know, we move. This is what Heat and 5 looks like. We got a lot to get into today. Take me out, Brass. Cinco. Yep. Listen, guys, I'm not. You know, tonight was you know, I was texting with our friend Leif over at 5 on the floor today, and I said, I was like, how you feeling about tonight, man? He goes, you know what? House money. All of this is house money. You going without Jimmy, you get him right. And I was like, you're right. You're right. So we got a lot to get into. Brass, I'm gonna let you decide this today. By the way, this is Hangover Time. There's no Alphonse Sidney. He's once again looking for gas. He ran out of gas again.
Man,
he lost all the gas, like finding it, and now he went out for it. He should be back by Saturday. I think he's confident that he has a week. So, Brass, I'm going to let you take. Do we want to do our player of the game, or do we want to do who kicked our ass? I don't really want to give the Knicks kind of that credit.
No,
Ain't nobody kick our.
No,
I like the tone already.
No,
this
we
was
don't.
a
No,
great
I think there was more
player of the game.
good that came out of
yeah,
tonight.
we'll do. What are you drinking and player of the game?
Yeah,
That's the type of game this was.
Let's stage the edge.
What listen, I had a margarita. I drank 2 during the game. I didn't want to have a third because I have a very early work morning. So I'm calling it light today. You know, I'm not gonna lie, if they had one, I might have had another one, but you know, I'm being a responsible
This is light drink opinions.
tomorrow. Yeah, you know, responsible adult tomorrow. Schmeaton says get my shit together. My player of the game, man, Eric Spoelstra. Not a player, coach. What a fucking great game plan. They came out swinging. He had everybody. He was in his bag tonight. We'll probably, you know, I know Bon and I and Tiff, and we'll probably want to get into some of the cool stuff that he did today. But shout out to him, man. He's a sicko. He relishes these nights. He loves. There's nothing more Eric Spoelstra loves than missing 90% of his roster. So
That's so true. He loves starting 4 undrafted guys. Fucking
Wake them up in the morning.
I saw somebody on Twitter say
That's the culture.
they said that the Heat are winning with a dude named Highsmith. That's a football name. Eric Spoelstra is the greatest basketball coach ever.
That's hilarious.
No, for real.
That's so good.
Alex Musibay, what are you drinking, and who is your player of the game?
You know, I always have the monkey shoulder with a little bit of ginger ale. Player of the game. Gee, I'm a little bit surprised you didn't go here. I thought it was an easy layup for you. So I'm going to shout out your guy. I'm going to go with Kyle Lowry. I thought there was a lot of times tonight where we really needed a steady hand to just kind of set the offense and get things going. And he was able to fill in a lot of those gaps and keep it going as well on the defensive end, always taking those clutch charges. I thought we really needed his veteran presence on the floor at times tonight. And, you know, he played great. So shout out Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, he was my player of the game because I just didn't think the shooting was there. And he's a guy that I want to talk about that I thought they needed a little bit more from tonight. I think he and Bam were their two guys. Bam and Duncan, I think, are there's three highest paid players. Had to give them a little more. We'll get to that later. We're talking about positivity right now. Tiffany Meeks, I think I know where you might go with this, but, what are you drinking and who's your player of the game?
Well, first of all, it's a school night, so I'm drinking water. You know who my guy was. They tried to assassinate my guy mid-game, try to take his legs out, but he was there. Brass, you got that for me? Just one time on the train. One time on the train. Give me one. Give me one time on the train. Because this still a celebration, people. This still a celebration, people. Get it. Get it. They tried to break his ass.
I was about to say, better hope that ass is okay.
Right. Is them cushions on them train seats?
No, there aren't.
No,
there are not. There are not.
Those are the worst train. And guess what else might be on those train seats?
The next COVID variant.
I'm not going there.
Listen,
Brass, no.
Oh, I know he's not dancing there. He's just like, my ass is fucking killing me right now.
It's itching. My ass is itching. What is in this seat?
Exactly.
That's all right. He got vibranium. He'll be back.
Bond, I don't sit. I'm just telling you, I don't sit and I don't touch the rails. I just stand.
You just stand there.
And if you gotta leave, you got this elbow. Yeah. Put that elbow on something.
I wear like a jacket, so like I'm not getting like my elbow and shit.
Long sleeve, everything.
Yes. All day.
With the swishy material.
Plastic.
Yeah.
I went through like 5 bottles of Purell.
That ain't gonna do it. Bond, it's on you.
Bond.
Is it? Did we skip Brass? What's the rotation?
Brass goes last.
We saving Brass for last. I feel like Brass got something to say.
Listen.
Brass, I'm hyping you up.
I don't have much to say.
Nice
right?
background, Bond. You got the Legend of Zelda Triforce.
Oh,
yeah.
please. I left your guy right there for you, please.
Big Zelda fan?
Let me get it. Sure. This is a Breeze office. I can ask her about it.
Sure.
Breath of the Wild 2?
This ball right here is Jimmy Butler autograph. That's fun.
Oh, shit.
He didn't play for the Bulls.
Okay. Player of the game, number 2. Leave me alone about him. I don't care what any. 41 minutes, led the team in minutes, second leading scorer.
Him.
Marquee player.
I don't give a fuck. 4 for 12 from 3, but them 4, they were big, they were timely, the guts to get in there. Like I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for the way that he just feels so empowered and he just feels so sure of himself. And there's no Tyler, there's no Vic, there's no Jimmy. Who else do you want like kind of, being aggressive and trying to get some things done? So I'm super happy for him. And then
Vaughn, you're like a podium. You're like an athlete at the podium. You're like reading the box score.
I am.
Yeah,
No, for real. And then I don't know if anybody maybe Brass takes Caleb, but if not, then I'm gonna throw some Caleb love too because there was a lot of good shit with him tonight.
Well, before I comment, we're gonna bring someone in here.
Oh.
Did you find gas?
What's up?
You know
who kicked our ass? I don't care what the segment is. I don't care what the
He's got
segment
the room to himself.
Okay.
Look at the audio.
He's spicy favorites.
Yes.
No, we can actually hear you. Yeah.
I mean,
you look in high def. You moved on.
Yeah,
from your,
man, you look good.
Yeah.
Listen,
Is this a better witness protection plan?
You know who kicked our ass? Motherfucking Scott Foster. You
That's
fucking
right.
coward. You
Get
human
him.
piece of fucking
Get
garbage.
him.
Oh, the
You
baby ain't in here
trash
today.
ass, sorry ass, puss ass bitch. I can't fucking skate. Listen, if I ever see you, Scott Foster, it's on fucking sight. As soon as I see your ass, I'm knocking that fucking shit fade off your fucking head. You sorry piece of garbage. Like, what is fucking wrong with you? What, a 4-point play? A 4-point play? Obviously, the motherfucker wasn't set to shoot. Obviously, complete goddamn bullshit. And then you go right down on the other end. So you 4 points for the sorry ass fucking Knicks. Right down on the other end, you miss an obviously the fucking shot hit the rim. All right, shot clock violation, and it was a game fucking layup that would have cut the lead to 1. Just bullshit. And then the fucking Julius Randle elbows fucking Kyle Lowry in the fucking head, and it's a foul on Kyle Lowry.
That was fucked up.
I'm sorry that Kyle Lowry put his fucking face in Julius Randle's fucking elbow.
That was a huge call,
listen,
too.
Listen, we understand it, fucking NBA. We understand it, fucking TNT, ESPN. You need the fucking Knicks to be good. Oh, the league is better when the Knicks are good. No, we need the Knicks. We need fucking the Mecca. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about Julius Randle's ugly, fucking rat-infested haired ass. Nobody cares about Jalen Brunson. Nobody cares about fucking RJ Barrett 1920s looking ass. Nobody wants to see more New York Knicks. Nobody. Like, that team is so fucking boring and trash. Could barely beat the fucking Heat without Jimmy Butler at home in the fucking Mecca in front of all those B-list stars from 1995. Listen, not a fucking person in that fucking crowd has made any significant money since 1998.
Leave Roger Federer out of this.
Fucking trash. Fuck all those shitty ass fucking stars. We out here with Bad Bunny, Kevin Hart, like
DJ Khaled,
DJ Khaled, people who are making money
soccer players.
I mean, both teams get Rick Ross, I guess.
Young Jeezy.
Like nobody is in New York right now. Like
DJ
nobody
Khaled.
wants to fucking go to a Knicks game. It's like Stu Gatz and fucking David Sampson, and that's fucking it.
And Aaron Rodgers.
Fuck you, Aaron Rodgers. Fuck you, NBA official. Fuck you, Stephen A. Smith, because they ain't gonna talk about none of those fucking missed calls on First Take tomorrow.
Right.
Guarantee you, orange and blue skies. Kiss my fucking ass. Take me out, Brad.
That was beautiful, man.
Alf's hairline.
That's how you do
Tiana,
it.
We're not going to talk about that. Don't worry about it.
Alf's
I thought
hairline
that too.
struggling like Heat defense. My God.
Oh, gee.
That shit was on life support. Did you see that one person in chat that said Uncle Phil's going
Going
off?
up.
I lost it.
That's like one of the funniest rant comments I've ever heard.
So good. Whoever that was, shout out to him. Got to hit him
Good,
one time.
point to you.
I love it.
Brass, did you give us?
JG just going, Alf look mad as hell.
Yeah, I haven't given anything yet. I mean, I don't have that much to give tonight. I mean, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Caleb. Literally all game, this dude, and for as long as I can really remember, this dude has given his all out there, and he's a slippery son of a bitch. That dude, if people getting locked up, people afraid to drive the basket, he is never afraid of that shit, and he will yak that shit on your fucking dome, and he doesn't care. He's so good, man. He's so good. And I think is a really important player to have out there for more minutes when you lose a player like Jimmy Butler, who's very physical. He's certainly one of the more athletic dudes. I really, really love what he's bringing. I know he got hurt kind of at the end. Likely nothing serious, but it took him out, and it sucks. Down the stretch, there was a lot of shit down the stretch that did kind of fall apart. I mean, there was the officiating. I mean, whatever. We're gonna tear this apart. But what I'm drinking tonight, I got a drink that was made in New York. It's called a DLB. It's a weird as fuck drink. It stands for Don Lee Bitters. So Don Lee's this guy made it. It's rum. It's lemon juice. It's 3 types of bitters. It's Fernet Branca, but it's like a lot of bitters. Like almost there's as much bitters as rum in this. It's a weird drink, just kind of like a weird end to this
Sounds like
game.
It's out of the Great Depression, yeah.
But I am so very content with this loss tonight.
It was a great loss.
Legitimately, this team was in it the entire time, and listen. The Knicks were fucking lighting it up from 3. Like, Jalen Brunson had an amazing game. RJ was hitting. How many threes did RJ hit? Yeah. It was wild.
RJ,
it was black and time revenge game tonight. So, and all this without Jimmy, I'm very content with what this series looks like going forward.
5.
They were so composed.
Not even
I can't wait to get into it.
Jimmy. Miss Jimmy. I thought I want to talk about. You guys are positive. I like that. I like the. Let's talk about the offense. Let's talk about something that was positive, which was the offense.
Yeah.
Because listen, I saw a stat that they're getting a 1.25 point per play when Jimmy Butler's not on the floor. That's fucking crazy. They're missing like their whole rotation, and like they're missing Jimmy Butler, They're missing Tyler Hero. Those are their two best offensive players. I think there's no debate at this point. Those are their two best.
In any order that you want to.
And Vic was coming alive and had been giving them stuff.
Moose.
Yeah. So, and I want to give a shout out to
take yourself out.
Yes. So when Jimmy Butler's off the floor in the playoffs, the Heat are outscoring opponents by 26 points per 100 possession. That's kind of crazy. They have a 120 offensive rating. And their defense rating is really good. I'm sure that's going to go up tonight. But, they competed. They got a lot of shots. Their guys hit shots. Everybody contributed. I know that. I mean, I think everyone who played scored, which is not something that's really real. I think they had 5 or 6 guys in double figures. They had Caleb, Bam, Max, Vincent. They had 4 guys in double figures, and then Duncan at 9 points. So, I mean, they spread the ball around. Tiff, I'll start with you, man. They distributed. They moved the ball. They attacked. Their offense got a little gummy late, which happens when you don't have a go-to star.
Right.
But all in all, I was really impressed by what they gave him on offense. There was force. There was a lot of downhill motion. I thought Caleb Martin was huge in that. Max as a pick and roll handler was something that they used to go to, and they came back to it this game before he went down. That was huge for them in the third quarter. Talk about your boy. Talk about kind of how they did. What about their offense today?
I think one of the things that we've been talking about is how to get the shooters open. Last game, it wasn't a lot of movement from the shooters. It just so happens that they just hit shots. This game, they were moving with purpose. The ball was popping. You didn't have Max and Duncan just standing in the corner. You saw them actually trying to get to the basket. You saw them cutting. You saw them making the pass to the moving target. I just think everybody played with purpose. That's the thing about this team that we kind of forgot a little bit, that they know how to do this. No, did they do it regular season? No, they didn't. We don't know what happened. That was a long time ago. But we knew they knew how to do it. It was almost as if they were gaslighting people to think, oh, we can't play.
That's what Rohan said on Twitter today.
Oh, we can't shoot. We don't know how to shoot the ball.
Right. But
dope.
I'm very, and I think Bon and I were pleasantly surprised and happy just with the composure from Gabe, from Max, from Duncan, from Caleb. Just from guys that are your role players, guys that y'all try to send to China every other day. These are guys who are keeping you in this series. These are guys who are doing all the little things that need to be done. It's these little guys. And no, I wanted more from Kyle. I wanted more from Bam. But I'm gonna tell you one thing about Kyle. He can go 1 for 12, but he is fucking stubborn as hell. He is gonna dig in. He's gonna play hard, and I think that's one of the things these guys follow. He is willing to get on the floor. He is throwing his body. He's trying to keep possessions alive.
You see why I love him? I think this is a good example.
So key.
Can I just real quick? That's why I wanted to shout him out at the beginning. I know he only scored 6 points. I know that, but I wasn't worried about his offense. It was his presence out there and the fact that he was leading the aggressiveness and the urgency. Tiff, to your point, that's what I felt like they were playing with tonight. When you say they're playing with purpose, for me, it was like they're playing with urgency. They knew what the fuck they had to do tonight. And I think that was Kyle, keeping the foot on the gas and making sure that they're running at a steady pace throughout the entire game. Unfortunately, we didn't come up with it tonight, but a lot of positives tonight. I really do feel that way.
But I think one interesting thing about Kyle is there are many times, G notwithstanding, many times Kyle has annoyed us. But also Kyle annoys other players. And I think that's really important in these cases because he starts to piss players off, but in a good way. Yeah. In a good way. He can sort of rattle them up. And I think players on the team, the younger guys can sort of see that. And you need that kind of veteran leadership. Listen, he's a fucking vet. Yeah. He's a vet.
Oh, he's all shit. Yeah.
Talk all the shit you want, and he had a very mid season. All right, very mid. But to have him, I'm really, really glad that that he's healthy enough to be able to be a part of this playoff run, and we didn't get I mean, who knows if we would have gotten rid of that? Whatever. The trade talk is long time ago, but it's where we can look at it now as being fortunate in the way this team has to come from behind and go from an 8 seed to try to win the fucking title. That Kyle is a part of it. And healthy,
he's huge.
So.
And I think them getting him back, I think him resting when he did was important. And I think he got them through a rough part of their season when he was the only mildly healthy body, because he was still, I think, coming off of his playoff injury. But I think you guys see, like, Zach Lowe uses the word persnickety. He's just very annoying. He's just like, Moose is like making face. Yeah, it is.
Put that on the list with the other one I don't want to say.
Gotcha.
He's just like, he just does all the shit. I was messaging our group chat, Bon. I remember I was like, Kyle set like a really, really nice kind of screen on a closeout that got either Caleb or Gabe an open 3, and I'm like, that's not going to show up on the box score. Yeah, and that's like he's just so good at those in between plays, and he's quick. I think he and Kevin Love have such quick hands, like on defense, like when they go down, like when a guy brings the ball down. And I thought the Knicks did a better job of making sure that he wasn't able to kind of get there. They were kind of holding the ball higher and stuff like that, and using kind of Randall and Barrett. They're just bigger, but just I'm glad that you guys see it. That guy's awesome, but I do think
relax.
It's about damn time. All right,
yeah, it's about damn time. But yeah, Bon, we got to get to your boy, because and we'll get
Marquee player.
Chat wants us to talk about Scott Foster. We will, and they want us to talk about Kevin Love being on the bench too long. We will. We're talking about the positive. We're being positive today. Bon, your boy Gabe had a stretch in the third quarter that I was like, how does he only have 16? Because that felt like that man had 30.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my mind. Like my body got hot. Like I was actively trying to keep it together.
I got Fred Van Vliet against the Buck vibes. Like that's how hot he was playing.
Well, I didn't watch too much of her, so I'm going to want to take your word for it.
The Miami Heat podcast.
I don't know her.
Yeah, I don't know her. No, just being persistent and it was really something to really, really see. People talk about putting confidence in their teammates. People talk about really wanting guys to feel that they can just kind of go out and play. But it was something very different to feel the sincerity in Bam talking about the way that Gabe works. And the amount of time, the hours that go into just the game preparation, and he plays the game the right way, and so he's being rewarded for the effort. He's being rewarded for doing the little things. He's being rewarded for nutting up in really tough spots, and now he's free to kind of just be loosen himself. And Spo talked a bit too about how he was always kind of the gunslinger or whatever. They had to transition him more to lead guard-ish, and I thought he made really, really good reads. He made really good driving kicks. He navigated the lower 1/3, near the basket with intentionality and kind of just with a good poise about himself, and was making really, really good passes and really good athletic passes too. And it was just really nice seeing it all kind of come together. That middle stretch of
that crossbar pass.
The pass that he got out to Colin, that's gorgeous. Yeah. He's so small in there too. So he just really all he had to do was be able to just all he had was just his sight line. I know he's there somewhere. Let me get that bitch. The tallest person is already in front of me, so if I can just get over here, you can take me out. And I just I'm just really happy for him. and the way that kind of they all are coming together. But I really, really do want to touch a little bit before we pass it out on Caleb and the way that Spo used him differently today. There was a stretch in the season where it felt like Caleb was initiating offense, but it didn't feel confident. It didn't feel like it.
Yee.
What is? Oh my gosh!
Was that Yee?
Yeah.
It didn't.
Yeah. Did you make that, Brass?
Yeah, that was
long ago.
That was a long time.
I don't remember that. That's hilarious.
This is my first. I've never seen this. This is my first. I was today years old.
Wow.
I'm
sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's Hispanic. It's Hispanic Jimmy.
You're fine.
Go
I
on,
really
please,
like the way
Siobhan,
that Spo used him
That was
tonight.
disarming.
Yeah.
like earlier in this season, we were using like there were times where Caleb was initiating offense, but it didn't have any like I said any confidence, any real feel behind it. It just looked like he was there and just trying to like figure his way out. They were drawing things to get him downhill, and like the bigger body that you would hope that you were starting to get some shit from Vic from, just like a slippery presence, a thrust, a quick burst, a quick just. I was very, very, very pleased with him tonight, and of course with my guy,
Max. Moose.
Are you serious?
Yes, you guys look alike.
Max,
You're both,
take him out.
You're
Take
both
him out.
handsome, bearded men.
No.
Get it, Moose.
Hey, listen, it's a compliment. We're both good looking guys, but I see what you did there. White guys with a beard.
You did a racism.
That's actually exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I know.
All right. Max was on my mind. Moose does so we saw they go in. How do you feel like? I'm of the
You're
opinion
so
that
rattled right now.
I'm
Here,
so
I'll take
rattled
over.
because
Listen.
I called you Max. I'm just gonna hand off.
I know what you want me to say some stuff about the Heat. I got it.
He's rattled like Brian trying to name the black guy on the sidelines.
That wasn't as bad as
What happened?
I do have some thoughts on the game tonight. Thank you for that setup, G. So listen, I think
that's
I
a
think
turnover.
Yeah, like
I think one of
that's
the
gonna
best
go in the
things-
book as your turnover move. Like, that was one of them late shot clocks.
But that was gonna be like one of the Bam ones from last game that he only had 2 when like they were all his fault, but like fucking the passer got it. Like gave out like 2 that were. Sorry, Moose,
okay,
go ahead.
cool. All right. I think one of the best things about what I saw tonight was it definitely felt, and it, particularly with Gabe, shouting out how he's been so great this whole postseason. Man, everything that these guys went through, not just this season, but even last postseason, they are playing with just a different level of confidence that I think any of us even anticipated with the way the regular season went. But it was kind of like what Jimmy was saying all year. They were just fucking bored with the regular season. And you're seeing it now. They are committed to every single minute of the game. And when they play like that, because for a lot of tonight's game, it was in the mud, but that's the way they want to play. And when they are getting teams to play like that, I have all the confidence in the world with these guys, regardless of who they're putting out there, because Spo is just putting on a masterclass right now with some of these guys. And they're peaking at the right time right now. So I do think there was a lot of good to take out of tonight. I think minus Scott Foster with a couple of calls, I don't want to blame it all on him, but minus that, at least the momentum, like this game was ours. Heat in 5. Brass, take me out. This shit is over. Wait till villain Jimmy comes back. Playoff Jimmy. He's going to go fucking crazy at home. Did you see him waving? That's because he knew that it's over for you guys. It's over.
Gee, can I say one thing to kind of loosen what Tiffany said earlier about like just there were times where like we felt like this season that they didn't have kind of something or like whatever it is, very much so kind of like the lackadaisical and the effort on some stuff too. But like there were points where the offense really was there. They were doing the things. They were getting the motions. Frankie and I talking to Chad a lot about like the process. They were doing their process. They were getting good looks. They just were missing. And it's fun now to see them hitting shots and also tightening up on the effort and the details and the other things. Like literally doing the things they were doing, adding the things that they just shat themselves to do, and then just like tightening it all up. Like at a very
committing to every possession.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about let's talk about Scott Foster because chat really wants.
Wait, one more positive thing before we talk about bullshit.
Okay.
Yes.
For real too. The defense was good too. Damn.
The defense was.
I actually was not happy about the defense.
Listen.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen.
The zone was.
Go ahead, Tiff.
For whatever the defense was, we still could have won this game. So it was good enough to win this game.
It was right there.
Yep.
It was right there.
I just want to say. I just want to give the kudos once again to the undrafted backcourt. Y'all tried to send them to Shanghai. Y'all tried to trade them. Y'all tried to do all the things to Miami Vice. And look at what these boys is doing for y'all. They're playing their asses off. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
So the 3 best Knicks players went off for 30, 25, and 24 on like relatively like decent, sustainable shooting. My thing with the defense, and it's not really anybody's fault, but what Jimmy provides to you at the nail as a helper, I think is so important to like the way that they play defense.
Of course.
So
that's why we're saying Heat and 5 because when you get Jimmy back, it's over.
one of the things I noticed, and it was pretty clear with RJ Barrett, which I'm surprised that he didn't play like more in the fourth quarter. That I thought that was kind of a weird thing, but I understand that they were kind of cooking him defensively, but I thought they could have used him, but it worked out for them, I guess. But when he was kind of attacking, he's like a big wing, kind of either getting switches or kind of attacking like good matchups. They put Kevin Love in a drop a lot. Jimmy is that guy at the nail. He's the first guy to come stunt in on that drive. So that gives the defenders on the ball time to recover. B, it gives your backline help, who's in between the shooter and the paint, kind of an extra second to get in and get in better position without totally just like leaving a guy like wide open for that easy kind of one pass kick out. So without him there, they went to the zone, which we talked about in our group chat earlier. It's like they kind of might have to today. And I think the other part of defense is rebounding. And without Jimmy, he's one of their best rebounders. He's like at least their second or third best rebounder, however you feel about
Tyler too.
Yeah,
Tyler's a great rebounder.
Another guy. Moose, great point. And
I know, right?
Yeah,
take me out for us dunk of the night.
All right, you said take him out. I took him out.
Yeah, like Dunk is not like a factor on the boards or anything, and Caleb's like athletic and stuff, and Max is too. But like Max had 1 rebound tonight. Caleb had 8. Good for him. And Gabe's like a small guy. That's not Gabe's job to do it, and Highsmith is not that. So I kind of think that without Jimmy there, like their rebounding suffered, as you saw. The kind of help at the nail, and I just thought that at times Miami was in rotation too much. I always say like when you play defense, you want to do so at a position of strength. So like in game 1, Miami was helping off of guys that they wanted to. They weren't in rotation like flying around because the Knicks are moving the ball and they're chasing it. They were forcing where the ball was going, and then they would go close out. For a lot of tonight, like the Knicks were getting penetration, whether it was Brunson or RJ Barrett, and they're chasing the ball and the ball movement. And I think those kinds of threes are more dangerous because at that point it's like everyone's touching the ball, everyone's moving, then some guy catches the ball and Josh Hart hits some stupid threes that are annoying. So that was kind of my thing with the defense.
I have no real issues with most of that's hilarious. I have really hardly any notes at all for most of the game up until I don't know, maybe it was like 3-4 minutes to go. The fucking rebounding, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh chance points that the Knicks were getting fucking murdered us. It absolutely murdered us. And Love wasn't out there. Mm-hmm. And Bam was out there, and I guess he was being a little shy because he had 5 fouls. Did he not have 5? I think he had 5 fouls. He had 5 fouls at that point. So that's why people were wondering why Bam wasn't being a little more aggressive in those. That's why. But if that's the case, why do you not have? That's the only.
They didn't play Love enough in the fourth.
They should have played him. We needed some more size out there.
Yeah. Did he come
because
in
the game?
Caleb went
it's
out?
not like the game got away. Listen, Kevin Love did not
did.
shoot well tonight, but that's okay. Again, he's got that upside of a 3-point shooter, but that is the one thing that I think was really the deciding factor of this game is just in the end. Listen, we knew this Knicks team is huge. They're fucking huge.
Yes.
And Mitchell Robinson, all the guys, they were all got 3. Yeah, Hartenstein had three fouls going into the half.
Had some big minutes for them.
So, but I think by the end, I don't think that really got up to the point where they considered themselves with foul trouble once you get further and further in the second half. So, but that's what killed it. That was really annoying. Absolutely. I don't know the story there.
So I saw Bronx Joker in chat said they were in the zone for a lot of those possessions with offensive rebounds at the end. And Frankie said that in like the first quarter, it's like they got a rebound in the zone, which they did not do. And I think, again, part of that is Jimmy not being there because he's that kind of body that kind of sure. And they wouldn't be playing his zone with Jimmy. So that part's out. So just that's kind of my notes on the Heat defense. Bon, I don't know if you wanted to add anything before we pivoted, but I thought they played good enough for them to win up until like those last couple minutes. But I think the offense could have helped them a little bit. But again, they're limited without their guys. Bam had the 5 fouls. It is kind of hard to blame anybody or anything. I thought they played as well as they could. And listen, New York hit some shots and made some plays and they had some, they got a little. I don't like doing the ref stuff, so I'm not going to do that. But they New York hit some shots and Miami, didn't, and they go into Miami tied 1-1, which is what they wanted.
So a lot of, for me, what was happening at the zone toward the end, the top shell of it wasn't that bad. It was the rotation to the corner. And by the second time, there were like 3 possessions out of 5, where by like the second time, the back line, bam, calling him out. Like the one where he ran through dude, I don't know if there was something happening with the guards on the other side and they were slow to kind of bring that rotation over, but there were like 3 like that Josh Hart streak. That should have been much better read defensively. I actually like what I saw with their defense, especially a little bit the zone 2 today. I like the way that they were moving the top 2 of that weird like 1-1-2-1 weird 1-3-1 thing that they do, rather than trying to like, as the ball gets dribbled to the other side of the court, rather than trying to like do a quick switch, they were keeping the person who was on them, just letting them take them to the other side and then slowly bringing the other top piece. And I think that it helped kind of keep some of the stuff out of the paint. But when it did kind of break penetration a bit, then you saw the kicking sprays. But yeah, like G, to your point though, all of that you said is why you feel good about it, because it was still, for me, it was still really composed. Like they were still in a very good connectivity defensively, even without kind of their like middle of the floor anchor. So I was very encouraged. And I think Haywood did a good job. Haywood came in and played good, like bodying up defense. And he also did some stuff at the nail where you would have a stronger and more precise in where the dig should happen type of Jimmy. But I think Hamish gave them good activity in that. I was actually pretty well surprised with the defense, except the rebounding, but I'm always wanting more rebounding.
To your point, Bond, I love what Highsmith gave them. It's just he just doesn't shoot well enough for them to play him more. And I think that's kind of the problem. Yeah. And like he cuts well.
And that is a problem.
And like I don't think it's a lack of effort. Like he cuts and he moves. But like there were a couple possessions where like he like did the right things, and then when he gets the ball, because the ball finds his motion, he didn't know what to do and he couldn't. And that's development that will come later.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's still learning.
But Tiff, it's a huge game for him. Like, that's huge stakes. He's not there yet. He's a great kind of regular season guy to help you out and to eat minutes as he develops and learns. But yeah. I wanted to say about my high school.
I gotta put this stat up. Now I have not confirmed this stat. They say it's true.
Thank you. I've been trying to
King Mobs Gaming said it's also crazy how Heat is 0-13 against Scott Foster.
Us and Chris Paul. Although Chris Paul just beat the allegations.
He did.
Well, not really.
Well, the Scott Foster allegation.
If that's true, I also agree with AMG Tony 305 here.
All right, I'm going to see myself out.
No, we're good.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm speaking on behalf of myself, not Miami Heat beat as an organization.
The following thoughts are my own. They're not
right.
Where's that ticker? We have that. Like, throw that out.
Exactly, we do have that.
Well, I mean, it's really...
it's only for Alf, though.
It's fine. And I've been saying that needs to be more...
The views of Alphonse Sidney do not reflect the views of Miami Heat. They're his own, and we do not condone any of the messy shit he was out here talking about.
Yeah.
That applies to brass at this point.
All
that stuff.
But I was thinking, too, like, all the things that, like, the nitpick things that we're talking about, most of those things, we know Jimmy solves those.
They're
things.
beautiful things to nitpick about.
It's like we can't be mad about it because we know we got a guy at home who can plug those holes.
This is what I was afraid of. I only put it up because she's like, no, it's true.
For you.
That's why I wanted to find, because Christian actually put up the stat earlier. And I trust Christian. Although who knows with Christian nowadays?
Exactly.
I mean,
Miami has a winning record. I just Googled it. That's what it says.
Unbelievable.
This is the first game that Scott Foster actually we lose with.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if that's true.
Moose, God damn it. You had
no, but I'm saying, like, these are holes that we know Jimmy can plug. So like I'm not stressing any of that. I'm not tripping on any of that. I just think that, like, you do go back and then you do need to self-reflect the rebounding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we also got to also take into account too what happens when you gang rebound and there's 3 minutes left in the game. They're tired.
They're tired. Everything's collapsed. And then when you miss them, that kick out is right there.
Yep. And you don't have the legs to get that push off to go for the ball. They're tired. They gang rebound. This is how we, win games because we send 4 to the glass each and every time.
I appreciate. Go ahead, T.
No, Bon, actually, this is a great question for you. When I was previewing the series with Nikias, I said, listen, the Knicks take care of the ball, they get to the line, and they offensive rebound you to death. If Miami can limit at least 2 of those things and force the Knicks to play basketball, I think Miami should win easily. That's kind of where I am. And I think tonight you saw they got to the line and they offensive rebounded you to death.
Yep.
I don't know how many turnovers they had. It didn't feel like a lot.
It's not hyperbole. I don't know how any Knick fan can watch that game and be confident. Like you just got taken to the wire by Max Strus and Gabe Vincent.
Miami had 6 turnovers and lost. That's crazy.
I'm going to be fascinated to hear how they talk about this game tomorrow because I think it's going to be a big comeback win for
them. Oh, it is.
But
they're not going to mention. They're not going to mention who was on the floor.
If you watch us, you can't. If I were a Knicks fan, I would kill myself.
I watched the game. I watched the game with a Knicks fan.
I would not feel good at all. Going forward. And oh God, there was that video from Worldwide Follows Everybody. And he for 7 minutes was crying after the last game. And he's just like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Listen, we lost this game tonight, but you look at that. We're clearly the better team. And I would say it's because he saw us during the regular season. He didn't watch fucking any of us in the regular season, so he can't really comment on that. He was just going 8th seed. But clearly, he must not have watched anything from the Milwaukee series because Milwaukee is a far better team than this Knicks team.
Bucks Twitter brass, they were like, I feel better about losing to them because damn, they ball.
Yeah,
I saw all of Bucks Twitter doing that.
Yeah, and if you really know anything about the sport of basketball, you would recognize that.
I think the Heat gained more respect for this win than the Knicks did for the win. The Heat got more respect for the loss than the Knicks did for the win on Twitter.
Collectively,
yeah. But it'll be interesting. I just don't know as a Knicks player because you had some of the players fucking balling tonight and hitting some big shots, and this team without Jimmy and honestly, I'm really not concerned about Jimmy going forward. Listen, Jimmy was out there. He's wandering the streets of New York City. He's feeling good on the sideline. He's looking engaged. If the Heat had dropped game 1, I have zero doubt whatsoever Jimmy would have played tonight. I do not fault the organization one bit sitting him tonight. I think that's fine. And I think it's really important
I think it was
that
the right
these
move.
Players, it was the right move, and it's super important that these players,
it's super important.
These players on this team,
got to tell the boss.
These G Leaguers that people like to call
pod title for today,
were able to get so close to winning against a fully healthy Knicks squad.
Brass
that is
from
massive. I called myself out on it. You can't talk shit. I literally called myself out on it. What was that an anime reference?
Chat wants us to do the ref show. If Alpha's here, Alpha do the ref show. I don't want to do the ref show. I've never wanted to do the ref show. I don't like doing
the ref show.
Scott Foster.
No.
I don't like doing the ref show.
What's the point? What's the point?
Yeah, what do you want me to do? Be like, man, fucking Scott Foster
sucks. The ball hit the rim.
Yeah, okay, we all.
No, it's wild. You know what? Listen, that's some bitch shit. That's some bitch shit, really, because that's Josh Hart saying, oh, if we had made 3 more threes, we would have won. Fuck you, man. You fucking lost. Sometimes you just got to fucking eat it and just go, listen, it was a loss.
Yeah, fuck Scott Foster.
Oh, shucks. If we only scored more points. Listen, that shit happens.
Brass.
Yep.
And I still think I really blame it more on the rebounds at the end.
Exactly.
I agree. And look, at the end of the day, you gotta lose 1 to win in 5.
That's it.
Never took you in.
Do you know why, guys? None of us feel so bad about today. Brass, do you have that? I said, okay, you don't have the clip. Never mind.
What clip?
The clip I texted you.
Yes, do you have it?
No,
you don't know he don't have the clip.
The one.
Yeah, he's a real producer. G. He does.
This is why I'm not
the one
worried.
You texted me. I have everything you texted
right before the show.
He does this.
Yes.
Okay, this is why we're not nervous.
The one with Hart.
No.
What did you text me before the show?
The play we talked about, the
Moose,
thing.
what you drinking up there?
Yeah, on this at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yes, I have that.
No.
Except
No,
I found the better
I'm a
version of
little
it.
fucked up.
Okay, well, this is why we're not scared. I just
Let's
didn't
hear
see
it.
it
This is
loaded
what it
up on
sounds.
the-
You sound scared.
Let's see it.
I thought we were gonna do this for Gaga.
Well, I changed my mind and I didn't see it on the thing. That's
G
why I
has
asked.
been
Oh my
rattled
God.
ever since he
Because
commented.
I didn't see the thing because I changed my mind and I didn't want to go to Gaga.
Yep.
This is a lot of missed rebounds.
See, we're just.
Yes, it
this
is.
is what happens when Alf doesn't host the show. Alf,
This is what happens when you don't box out, G.
This is a
Alf,
lot of
please
missed
come to
rebounds.
Let's go
I
to
may
Gaga.
just sit on the sidelines the next show and just nod my head a little bit.
Yeah, just you know what I mean. Jimmy was at Cam Newton. Chat says Roger Federer was courtside. Yeah, he can't come to games anymore. I love Roger, but you're bad luck. Stop showing up.
So do you want to do?
Let's go to Gaga.
Gaga. Yeah,
we'll go to Gaga.
Let's
We'll
go
go to
to the Gaga.
This is where the game slip away.
I know.
Exactly.
seriously.
Right here. Sweat.
Go back to that one with G shirt and the buttons.
I was saying.
Or MIA says G's overheating his shirt with no buns.
They say you got no ventilation.
You gotta do one of these.
Tiff,
my
when I was
God.
in New York, I was out to dinner with some friends. I went to Cajun. By the
Liar.
way. What a great restaurant! I think it's in the East Village. Cajun. Shout out to Cajun. Fucking
That's a fake name.
incredible meal. It's like a Korean Cajun fusion, whatever. But I was out and I wanted to go out. And I wanted to look nice. I wanted to unbutton another button, but I was like, I'm not in Miami. How do New Yorkers? How would they experience this? So I just
Fuck
didn't.
them. Unbutton your shirt.
I was shy. I just kind of buttoned up and wore a jacket. Sorry, guys.
You buttoned up. You button up when you're out. You
I
unbutton.
buttoned up
Okay.
in New York City. I buttoned
You
up.
do the opposite for us. It sounds now it sounds disrespectful.
It's just, all right, Brass.
All right, yeah. Let's
Hey, by the way,
first-
we're not
first-
sponsored anymore. So somebody, if you want to sponsor, hit me up. I'm doing the
Wow.
Ethan's Cole.
I mean, you're
sad.
not
They-
really doing the best job.
They don't
I'm
need to
actively-
know
I'm
that.
not gonna lie to
G,
you.
damn.
We got pod metrics and shit. So
All right,
you know, reach
let's.
out.
I want to go to an actual basketball play, an actual dunk, because people do like dunks for this kind of thing. And I know, like, not everything has been a super highlight of Bam tonight. However, this lob from your boy,
Oh,
Good back
that
screen,
was
Duncan.
nice.
that was nice.
I need
though.
I need at least 2 more of those every game.
Do
man.
that again.
Mm.
See, they tried this last series, but they did the shit too packed in. You can't
And
do that.
who
with
was the-
Milwaukee.
Reggie Miller
Yep.
voice. And who was the screener?
Duncan.
Duncan.
can't do
Duncan
that with-
Robinson.
Mhm.
With Brooke Lopez and Chris Middleton
Exactly.
and Giannis in the paint. You can do that on
Yep.
them.
Yep. And now I think we decided this is going to be the Gaga for the next game.
So you got
Oh,
50
hell
pieces.
yeah.
Jimmy,
Uh-huh.
look at him on the sideline,
I love
waving
it.
to
He
the
loves
crowd.
this.
Yep.
He
Yep.
He
loves
loves
this shit.
They look good tonight.
I can't wait for
the most
Saturday.
part.
I was.
If I saw that, I would be fucking terrified.
So my buddy came over. He's a Knicks fan.
love
He can't come
him.
over anymore after today. And when he saw that, he said, "Uh-oh." Like he was talking shit. He's like,
Yes.
"Fuck you guys." He goes, "Fuck Gabe Vincent. Fuck Caleb Martin." And he saw, and then he just stopped. And he goes, "Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
Jimmy.
fuck."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That feels so good.
Ugh.
That's
Yeah, Jimmy.
that's not what they want.
Oh, can't wait.
I can't wait. I hope he's right. I saw him come in the arena with slippers, and I go, that can't be a good sign.
I never thought he was gonna play today.
I didn't either,
felt-
Moose. I said that
I-
like a million
yeah.
times. Yeah, I just felt like
He's
and not
way
even
too important, and we had the game in hand. I just think it was absolutely with waiting until
It
Saturday.
was not his
Way-
call. I saw
Smart.
way too many NBA fans on the timeline today talking about like Jimmy should be able to play through that. Jimmy,
Right.
if it were up to Jimmy would
I'm
have
sure Jimmy
played.
wanted to play.
He would
Right,
have
for
played
sure.
42 fucking minutes tonight. I don't want to
Absolutely.
hear it.
You
this
have
is
to
not
stop
on
it.
Jimmy. This is the organization, and for once in my life, I'm gonna trust the doctor, the Butchers of Biscayne. All right, for once in my life, I'm gonna trust their medical staff on this one.
I
That
actually
was a
have
good
a
call.
Slippers,
Bona,
slippers with a bad ankle is painful.
That's
like
what
if
I
he
was
was walking
saying. I
around
was
in
like,
slippers.
No
Thank you.
support.
I thought the same thing, Bon. I'm
No
like, if he's wearing
support.
Why my
slippers,
man in slippers?
he's all right.
He's fine.
No
He's all
support.
right.
I
I never saw.
He had
He
some
posted
tape.
a ton of videos
I
on
mean, he had
Instagram.
some tape under his
Not
Right,
a one had
right.
tape and
He
shit
did
on
that
it.
shit on purpose. What a fucking
Not a
troll.
one.
Yeah.
I
Thank
have
you,
a question
man.
for
You-
Bon and Tiff, the
Yes.
athletes here. Hand in the dirt type question. So I feel like if the injury was worse, why are you making that face? It's like
you've been terrible tonight.
Wow. I'm just so bad, bro. I haven't been.
It's fine. It's fine. We got you. Come on.
Yeah, we got you. My team lifts me up.
Stop passing it to me with 3 seconds.
I'm doing it to Max all season. Fucking run shit offense. That's what they did to Duncan in game 1. They would run the worst fucking thing on earth. Like Duncan do
Tyler was doing that shit a lot.
Oh, bro. That was the Tyler special. That used to be the D-Wade special. Dwayne would run an action, not get anything. He'll pump fake 5 times. He'll be like, "Well, I got nothing." He's like, "Where's Jarrell Wright?"
Yeah.
I felt like if the ankle injury was actually worse, they might have.
Listen, Shmeethan, this is.
Can we read that? Read it.
Shmeethan says only took 23 minutes into the show for everyone to turn into a podiatrist.
Listen, I know the fucked up ankles.
Let me be a podiatrist, goddammit.
We done had these ankles.
I feel like if the ankle injury was worse, they would play him through the pain because it was just not going to get better. If they felt that the injury was good enough to play, but it was just not going to get better by Saturday, they might have been like, all right, you got to get out there and be careful. But the fact that it wasn't so bad, they're like, if you wait till Saturday, you'll be 90% at minimum. That I think that kind of, I don't know. That's just my wild podiatrist take. Twitter podiatrist.
That makes sense.
Tiff, that was the.
I know it was to any of the 2 athletes. Stop it! I didn't do that.
I just don't even think that makes sense.
It makes sense.
If his ankle was worse,
that was a one pass. Come on.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Please explain
Because
that.
because if you're once you're hurt, and let's just say the recovery time is 6 to 8 weeks. Guess who don't have 6 to 8 weeks? So they would just say, all right, we're going to treat it around the clock. You might get a little jab of something. We're going to wrap it up, and you got to go.
Yeah, if it's something...
Go ahead,
if
Bon.
it was something that was going to be it's not going to heal, but it's not fucked up. It's just going to be a level of discomfort and tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
Can we push through it? Yes, no. But I understand what G's saying.
Yeah.
It's oh, you're almost completely fine. Might as well just take it as rest. But if it was something that it's just going to be here, you got to kind of deal with it. Then let's see if you can try to deal with it right now.
Please, I'm sorry. I know you guys are athletes, but that makes no sense to me.
Rate the sports and chat.
It does.
Rate on sports and chat.
But you still take the extra time to heal.
No, you don't.
G was on some bullshit. Listen.
Yes, but no.
You don't.
We're podiatrists.
If they telling you,
if they tell you it's not going to get any better no time soon.
Yeah.
You're going to the playoffs last year.
You're going to be at a consistent 79% for the rest of this
series. It's pain management. That's it.
Pain management.
It's pain management. Don't fuck it up again.
Right.
Yep.
But if you at 79, but you'll be at 92 tomorrow.
He was healthy enough to
I'm
listen.
not worried.
I'm not either. New York City is the worst place to walk. It's grates on every street. It's trash everywhere.
Rodents.
Listen, half of the sidewalk is cracked, and Jimmy ass was just walking around like nobody's business.
Some of those curves are tall too.
Listen, he's okay, but you know what they said? We're going to make sure we close this shit out. You going to sit out.
Yeah, we're getting it done.
Yeah, we're going to let these guys go out there and do what they can do. And Saturday, you're going to put the cape on.
Hey, Brad.
It's the opposite of what Milwaukee did.
Exactly.
Milwaukee thought that shit was going to be cake.
Can you send a link to Ethan Skolnick? Ethan's tweeting some shit out, and I want to ask Ethan questions. Send Ethan a link and say, hey, Ethan, last minute, can you come on? Well, we want to ask you some stuff.
Ethan, come on.
Ethan, come on.
Ethan,
I got some questions for Mr. Journalist over there. We'll move on from podiatry. Enough podiatry.
It made sense.
It did make sense.
He definitely knows about podiatrists.
Yeah, no,
he's the one to ask.
What does that mean?
No. I'm sure.
I'm
sure of it.
I thought you were making a foot fetish joke.
Right.
In the chat.
I don't want to go through his phone.
I don't want to.
Charles Tiana does not like this idea, G.
We don't. What?
All right.
Get even on. I gotta ask him feet questions.
Kind of like ready around this.
Yeah, just send this.
Ethan is the anti-sage.
Normally after a loss in the playoffs, I'd want G to go Sage Arena. This is not a Sage situation.
I don't feel like that. No,
We're fine.
Not a Sage situation.
We are fine.
This is fantastic.
let's talk about Bam while we endeavor to see if we can get Ethan.
What you want to say about Bam, G?
So Bam said I gotta be better, and I'm like,
don't repeat that line on here
I know,
ever.
But that's what I wanted to say. I've heard
I'm so tired of that.
We've all been in a relationship where we hear the person say the same thing over and over again. I'm not falling for it.
Who stick around that long?
So sometimes you're a sucker, and
Fucking guy. Jesus.
That was out, Brass. That was
no. I thought we were waiting for Ethan.
Oh man, that would have been the
another missed oop, another bad oop. What is that?
That would have been perfect out though.
We're just not in sync today, dog. I mean, it's been 10 years.
You told me to wait for it. I said Ethan the fucking list, man.
You gotta make. I think that was an executive decision type situation.
Now I want to hear what Ethan got to say. Damn, I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I just want to know if he has a podiatrist on speed dial.
Anyway, G, Bam.
I'm sorry. I've been a fucking mess today.
You've been terrible.
He
just,
just,
okay.
Let's be honest.
Yes. He doesn't.
Come on, Bam. Get it together.
He doesn't look so hurt anymore.
I love you, G.
I think he's moving fine. He dunked on that oop. So he
wasn't. He hasn't gotten up like that in at least like 2 or 3 games.
Moose. I mean, during the stretch where he was on the injury report, it was very clear that he was not dunking.
Yes,
and even when he got to the rim, it was below the rim stuff.
Yeah.
Chat saying I gotta be better.
But I need more though. I've been waiting to get to the Bam stuff because in general,
yes.
If I'm gonna nitpick about anything, bro, Bam, I need more from you, dude. You played tonight like Tyler and Jimmy were out there.
Carlos Tiana's on a roll.
Carlos Tiana's like G is over 15 with closer.
So good.
Tonight, we've seen Bam. Moose, we saw Bam last year in a game 3 on the road. Jimmy was missing because Payne Pritchard's a dirty fuck. And, Bam came up big. Bam came up big.
He has these moments in him. We know that. The problem is the inconsistency with which he plays, which is if you want to be the player that we all know that you can be, you need to play with some type of consistency on both ends of the floor. And guys need to be able to know that, hey, if I'm not out there, I need you to pick up that extra, end of the work on both sides of the ball. I don't know what happened there. G got me rattled a little bit.
We're really falling apart.
Bam, I need like 10% more on everything. What I was saying earlier when we saw that guy. Let me get like 2 more of those fucking putback dunks or whatever. Like, just play more dominant because you can be the most dominant player on the floor every night. But you got to play with that type of consistency and urgency.
Some of them box outs. Go ahead.
I don't think he can be the most dominant player on the court every night. But what he can be is the smartest. He's not the most dominant. Like, we got to stop acting like Bam is 7 feet and just all muscle and Shaq. That's not his game. There's different levels of being dominant. Like, he's not going to be physically dominant every night, but smartly, he can use his skill set and be dominant. Like, that's what we need to get to.
And with that, like, you say smart. I say he should be one of the most impactful people on the floor from them, whether it's from being athletic, whether it's from doing the things on both ends of the floor and just combining the smarts. And I'm still stuck on that Josh Hart sequence. And personally, like, I know he's been like a lot of praise for his boxing out. Look, this is just me personally, like standing there face guarding and letting yourself stay grappled. I'm only going to take that for so much. Like, if y'all both going to be engaged here, cool, fine. If you're going to let your teammates try to go fight, some of those, especially towards the end, like, I need you to disengage from this. It's real easy to get out of a grapple for real. Turn around. And I need you to start going for some of those rebounds. It's like the situational intensity. Like, he ebbs and flows, and some of the ebbs sometimes are like real at real inopportune moments for me personally.
I wouldn't hate if Bam had a little Hassan in him.
Give me a Looney. Looney's out there giving 19, 20 rebounds and doing nothing else sometimes.
Bam need a little crazy in him. He need a little Rodman crazy
has it in him. You know what it is? Inconsistency of it.
Bam
It's fake.
Bam's reading books and shit. You know what I mean? Like he's
Take him out, Brass.
The hell is that?
No.
Take him out, Brass.
What? Yeah. Wait, he's saying Bam's reading books?
No. Bring him. Tell me more, G.
He's a finesse guy. He like, he's like an artist. You know what I mean? Like he's a Renaissance man. He's not out here being a physical brawler.
So bad.
Then we got a problem. Like, let's call it what it is.
Is Chad canceling me?
When you're missing
then we got a problem.
There are elements to Hassan's game, particularly the rebounding that we could use. Oh God. That is funny though. That is true.
That's the funniest thing you've done all night.
That's my wife.
But
too far.
Man, no, I don't want to swap out his IQ with Hassan's though.
No,
we don't want that.
Yeah, because
we don't want that.
I just want him to, be a little more like, focused on himself. He needs
Present.
to be a little self-centered.
Yes,
I agree.
in the moment.
I agree.
Yeah. Hassan cared about Hassan and no one else, and I think Bam is too much of trying to be a good teammate.
I just think the scoring needs to, he can't
up.
rely on that jump shot. We can't, it's unreliable. Like, you can't just think that's the only way you're going to score.
You guys know that
there has to be more way.
He needs to learn. He needs to learn to draw a foul like Jimmy more. He needs to drive.
Get comfortable in the post. He's got to.
Yes, he's got to get and not.
I'm actually
to score.
I think that we're too late already to start developing a post game.
But you don't have to score out of the post.
Season. Thank you. Face up, play make, read, observe.
Yes.
The face up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you don't have to score out of the post.
He needs to face up and the Hartenstein thing. Maybe you guys. This is something that I'm kind of bad at. It doesn't look like he has like a left handle, and he went at Hartenstein on a face up, and he would always go right. And Hartenstein is just kind of stepping into that and kind of cuts off that angle for Bam. I think he needs to be a little bit better with the other hand as a dribbler, as a finisher.
Well, that's off season.
That's
and so is the post for real, but the playmaking part of it isn't.
You can, yep.
I just need more for that.
We just need more. I don't care how you get it, Bam. At this point, I just don't care. I don't care how you get it. I don't give a damn if you grift your way to 20 points. I don't care. Just give us something more because we all know you need to be better.
Yeah.
And tonight is a night that if you get, like Moose said, if you get 10% more of him, then you win. Not to do the Josh Hart thing, but it just kind of shows the areas where they can kind of improve. On defense, it's funny because we never have a question about him on defense. It's always on offense, and obviously today's a day. Well, Bonds having a different conference, but you felt he was a little short for them on defense. We never have anything to say about him defensively. That's I think he's pretty consistently great. I think 9 out of 10 days he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Unlike,
And today was the 10th day.
You didn't think he was good on defense today?
I
thought he was okay. I just felt like he disappeared at times.
For times,
listen, their bigs got into foul trouble early.
No, they did, but that's when he's supposed to make his move.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's when you see what's his name, Mitchell Robinson head into the bench.
And
that's when you're
supposed to
go
off.
Hartenstein.
That's true.
That's
when
you go off.
When they both had 3, that's your time to attack.
That's when you go off.
Agreed.
They played Randall at the 5, and I thought they got.
They sure did.
They got.
They sure did, and Bam was supposed to punish him.
Yes, and that's what I mean too with the post. You don't necessarily have to be posting up their centers because I feel ways about that. But when you have opportunistic posting situations, you have to seek them out. And again, it doesn't have to be necessarily from a scoring. It can be from other standpoints. But two, some of this stuff defensively, for me personally, he has been some sloppy on some closeouts. He has let baseline. There have been things for me where I feel like I can critique. Yes, he is largely great defensively. I'm not saying he isn't.
He is so.
But I think in a series and with a coach with so many adjustments, and Spo's made some absolutely
he should be back Saturday.
Miraculous adjustments.
Oh yeah.
I think this game, in that case where he should have been attacking Julius, Julius is also one of those players that historically he is not very good at scoring in the postseason. Historically, he was shooting up until when he got hurt a few games ago. I don't know if he ever hit 40% from the field. So now I think with Randall, I think you could make some adjustments. Listen, Spo's going to be tinkering the shit out of this. And it's another reason that I think even with the talent on the floor, even with the game plan they had tonight, they still probably had enough to win. And now you add Jimmy to that, plus the adjustments.
Yep.
And
you're at home.
And you're at home, and you have multiple days rest. We're in a good spot. It sucks that it like slipped away. It sucks because we had this game beat, but it's okay. That's fucking basketball.
It is. They should come out pissed. Like they should be mad.
I fully expect them to come out that way too. With the way I saw Jimmy walking off the floor, I've never felt more confident.
Listen, teams go on little mini runs against us, but like we don't have those like, it never feels like the entirety of the playoffs. It feels like we really have our foot on the gas. Except with the only minor exception of Game 2 in the Milwaukee series. But again, Milwaukee shot everything. They made every shot imaginable. And then so that game was over early. So that's the only game that you can like point to and go, yeah, well, that one. But aside from that, this team has been staying in it. No matter the runs, boom, they come back. And I mean, this I don't know if it's because they took a lot of the season off or what. But they're showing so much resolve in these situations that you have to feel good going forward.
They're battle tested.
Yeah.
So we have some breaking news in chat, which is going to be, I think, pretty critical for Game 3. So there's an injury on the Knicks side, or maybe not an injury, but Scott Foster is apparently not going to be available for Game 3 for New York.
Wow.